Okay, now what Toronto needs to focus their attention on is making a 100-kilometer interlocking dream catcher with an elevator on the side so that we can send things 100 kilometers off of the ground and offer the world space tourism. Now, here is an example of a dream catcher. Now, see, the reason why this holds together and is because these threads are pulling it together. Otherwise, these parts right here would just fall on the ground. And these threads are acting like a beam of metal. And these threads, because it is threaded, it could be any distance, okay? It doesn't have to be the size you see. Because as you know, you put a piece of thread here, put a piece of thread here. Even if it was, 75 kilometers, when you pull it together, the two are going to pull together, okay? And this is the reason why an interlocking dream catcher was... I don't want to say too much because I don't want to lose topic and start talking about higher powers and things of this nature. But what I am saying is that if you build 100 kilometers this big of this, where you start in the middle, you're pulling it down, you're putting the dream catcher wires around it, and you keep pulling it together so that the whole thing pulls together, then you put an elevator right here, and it lifts people 100 kilometers off the ground. And, or it could lift other things to test how we can grow food in outer space. Or it can possibly with gunpowder, because at this point you wouldn't need to use expensive rocket fuel. You could just use gunpowder and you could shoot things to the moon from there to see how we can colonize the moon, okay? And, when it comes down to it, a space shuttle doesn't make sense, okay? Because a space shuttle is, for one thing, it can only lift a few people at a time. And it's moving thousands of miles per hour, which is killing your cells because nothing can move that quickly without having cellular damage, okay? And, and we're including coming back to the Earth also. Nothing can move that fast without their cells being damaged. An elevator is safe because an elevator is moving at an acceptable speed, where a rocket ship cannot move at the speed of an elevator. So officially, a space elevator makes a lot of sense. And the reality about Toronto and Canada, right, is unless we are planning on moving to Florida, right, we need a space program inside of our country. And another thing that this can do is once you are in the upper region of outer space, 100 kilometers off the ground, things are moving much faster because there is no air pressure, okay? And the space station is moving 17,000 miles per hour because there is no air pressure. And it is moving very quickly. The space station is traveling around the world in 90 minutes, okay? So if we put a 100-kilometer spherical dreamcatcher in Canada, and then a 100-kilometer spherical dreamcatcher in China, we would be in China in 30 minutes because this thing is moving so quickly, okay? In outer space, that is, because there's no air pressure, because air pressure is slowing things down so that they do not move too quickly. And this is the reason why the speed in outer space, where there's no air, is faster than the speed is on Earth, where there is air pressure. But this is another benefit to having these 100-kilometer dreamcatcher, but that's irrelevant, this sending products to other countries at an extremely fast rate. There is a benefit to this, I agree. But the main purpose of this is to do space exploration. And another reason why Canada should speak about the Dreamcatcher that was meant to tell us that we should travel to other planets is to advance Native American studies and to explain that Native America were sent with higher powers that had not been explained because of reasons that we didn't know, and that this is one of the reasons that Native America has this knowledge. And there are other people who have mentioned this, who are the people who were talking about the Mayans and the Aztecs, where they said that the Aztecs the pyramids were built by aliens who were trying to explain this message, and that supposedly Native America and Native Canada and the First Nation people came as a result of the pyramids from the Aztecs. But that's a different story, okay? And I don't want to go too much into things that go beyond what we're trying to discuss the reasons for. But if we build this 100-kilometer Dreamcatcher, okay, it should cost $30 million, which is less money than the budget that the Toronto police have asked, and this will give us a lifetime of jobs. It will give our children a lifetime of opportunity that they can take advantage of. It will allow us to have a space program. And there is no space program in Canada because there is nowhere that we can launch a rocket from. The only safe alternative that we have is a space elevator. And again, this costs $30 million. There's abundance of empty land in Canada that needs something to be there. And this is something that we can do. And personally, I feel that to not do such a thing is to say that breaking the law gives you a more benefit than trying to do a legitimate job. This is a legitimate job. When you're saying that the police get a $50 million budget and this costs $30 million and it's going to give us a lifetime of jobs, then you are saying that breaking the law has more rights than trying to do a legitimate thing. And this is legitimate. And we should work together to get $30 million. That's not asking a lot of money. We get 2 rings of scaffolding, which are 100 kilometers each. We bind it together with wire because it only needs wire to hold the thing together. And then once it is bound together, the elevator, it'll instantly go together, and then we can instantly start offering space tourism to people. And it is really that simple. And all that it is 2 rings, just like this, 1 ring, 2 ring. And then we bind it with the wire. We put an elevator here, and then the elevator takes it to the top. And then Canada has a space tourism industry that we can share with the world. We can do space studies. We can send things to the moon. There's no limit to what is available to us if we build this thing. And I hope that Toronto will be the people who will step forward and say, we are going to build this because we can and we should, and we need opportunity for our kids. And I hope that you do it, and I stand beside you, and I hope that you do it.